Hello, Proxy Table Gaming, PTG, Hyper G, and Lucky Sixes are here.
Yo, yo, yo. How you doing?
Good, good. Like I say every time we start recording, it's been a while since we've recorded,
Yeah, I
but
know.
fortunately for them, it's only been a week.
No time has, well, yeah, I guess a week has passed.
Yes.
But yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. But yes, here we are for
But the
another
event
battle.
hasn't changed. The event
No, it
hasn't
hasn't.
changed.
And
Well,
in fact,
technically
actually,
it's about to start, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. And we are underway in what is called and known as the ETC. And I'm going to make us smaller because
Okay.
I don't want to completely overshadow Denmark. But yes, here we are,
Only
Denmark.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Round one.
Round one, baby, and obviously this has been drawn on our channel.
Yeah.
Do go check out the live
It was
draw
live,
if
wasn't it?
you
Yeah.
want to. Yeah. We're 3 away from getting 500 views, and I would
Oh.
really like 500 views
We
for my
won't say why.
OCD. No. But so if you could go on there, if you haven't already, go check it out. Even just check on it and things. It was
But
good. It
don't
was
go
good
beyond
fun.
500, right?
No,
No, they
exactly.
can't.
For only 3 people. I want
Yeah.
on there.
Well, just
Um,
do four, and then he'll be really annoyed because then he'll have to get 600.
oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You don't annoy me. Goodness me.
You
But
wouldn't
yeah,
want to do
so
that.
no, we had a few guests on there as well, so it was worth it just for that. But yeah, anyway, so we'd known about this for a little while, and obviously we had our Team England had a pairings weekend as well,
So,
which
truth question now. How
mm,
much had you looked at Denmark's list before you knew you were playing them?
a decent more than I would ever look at lists before. But not it's
Okay.
not just Denmark. There was a few others as well. But obviously,
Yeah.
knowing that we're playing Denmark, the main ones we looked at were obviously America,
Hmm.
Aussies, and Denmark because we knew we were
Hmm.
playing them. So they were one of the first
Yeah.
ones we looked at. But yeah, no, one of the first times I've gone to a pairings weekend or anything like that, and it's definitely the first time I've gone for a weekend away and only talked about Warhammer
Oh, wow.
or
You
Night
didn't
Phage
play
or anything.
any.
No
Didn't play it at
games,
all.
nothing. Just looking at lists, and it
For
took
a
a lot
whole
longer
weekend.
for a whole weekend. It was crazy. I didn't think it would be possible,
No,
and
I
my
don't believe you.
my small attention
There must have been
span
some
would
FIFA in there
last.
as well.
There's no
Surely.
FIFA. No, there's no.
Tiddlywinks?
Well, of course, but
Well,
that's a
I was
by the
going to
by.
say, of course.
But yeah, so no, we'd seen it, and actually, I'd played. We picked out one of the lists, which was UD,
Okay.
which for us was a bit of a problem one, and I played it against Tony in a practice
Okay.
battle down the club.
In the club, yeah,
Down
I
the
remember.
club. So yeah, so no, looked at a decent amount.
Was that because
And
you were supposed to go against UD if you got the
no,
match you wanted,
it
or
was more that was a problem
so
one
you wanted
for
to
our
see it on the table?
matrix.
Hmm.
Yeah, and see, so it was just to see, right, do I, and from my list in terms of that, and my list is there if you want to look at it, hasn't changed. But yeah,
Deliberately
I have a
not.
lot of snipes and things like that. So it
Yeah.
would against the UD, which was triple Sphinx, if anybody else like it, which was a cool list. It would go one of two ways. I've got a lot of poison, a lot of things, but I would either kill them or they would kill me. There's no in between, I don't think, really. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
so I got a 10-10 in the practice. No, I didn't. But yeah, no. So this is my list, same as before. Go back and look for more detail. And this was Troels' list.
Okay.
So he was my opponents that we'd got in the matchups and stuff. A vampire off, which is very
Ooh,
interesting. I've got probably
he's
if
got
it's
more
safe to say
knights
it,
than you. I like him already.
he's got more knights and he's got 16 ghasts with a wagon.
Yeah,
Oh, that is tough to get through, man. That is
that
tough to get
is.
through.
Yeah.
So I was really interested to see how we go up against this. Otherwise, it's a bit of a skeleton
Mm,
raising wagon type thing as well with the
yeah.
necromancer,
Yeah.
and a funky little vampire courtier monstrous revenant, which is really interesting.
Is that the one that makes the gas scoring or not?
No. He was a
Okay.
monstrous revenant is literally just on a mounted thing, like a
Okay.
flying mounted thing. So yeah, it was
Fair enough.
it was cool to see how this would play, and yeah, whether I could get through all that regen res 5, because I've got some and I know how good they are. But if breakthrough and marching column, breakthrough, always one of them where I'm actually decent, but he's vampires as well. So like we've both got a lot of tools to magic move and such like that on the last turn. So that's interesting.
Breakthrough will be interesting because I don't think in any other game that we've seen you play, you've really been moving forward
too far forwards. No, it's and in the VC off even more so with marching columns as well. To add to it for round 1, which was just a headache. But anyway, this was our matrix. Is how we ended up. We ended up a very, very, very slight win. But obviously
very slight.
Yeah, the previous 2 have been major wins, and we've lost big. So probably doesn't bode well in that regard. But yeah, we'll. So we were really, there was a lot of pressure on us getting the results and not getting lower. Really, essentially, when it comes down to it. So yeah, if you want to check out all the lists and things, go on new recruit and stuff, and check out things. But this was our matrix for the matchups that we got.
Yeah.
And this was deployment. And I dropped for first. And naturally, at the start of any tournament, I get so excited, I forget to take a deployment picture.
So you've already
and
got
crack on, move, and then I go, oh, rubbish. I forget.
I mean, apart from the little birdie on the right-hand side, did you forget you've got all that battle map to fill up?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So few cards?
No, so we did a bit 1, 2, 3 drop because that's marching columns, and then I dropped for first. An interesting one being breakthrough and things, but I wanted to. That's me. That's what I do.
So you dropped your Vampire Knights first?
Yeah, because they're out on the wing. Football talk. Out on the flank. They're very manoeuvrable.
Okay.
And then I put bats behind them. Then the Spirit Host, because I thought, well, if you only put something over there, there's not a lot of magical attacks in his list. So let's go with that. And then I dropped because he put most things over there. I think he put a Ghastly unit over there. I was like, all right, let's just drop. Let's just go. Let's see if I can zone. And I thought as well, because he'd put most of his stuff over there, I was like, well, he's probably going to come over this side as well. So if I go first, at least that pushes him back a bit, and I get the edge on the breakthrough. And I was just expecting, I was honestly expecting a 10-10. And so it was.
I'm very surprised he hasn't got like one little scoring unit really on the other flank.
Yeah, well, that's
you could
really
not have stopped that.
So
you would not have been able to stop it.
But then I think if he puts things over there as well, because his scoring is only skeletons and vampire knights.
True.
And I've got my wraiths over there, which is nice for me.
Yeah, they would destroy knights. Yeah.
So yeah, but I will move us to show the audience that there is that monstrous revenant guy. I should also
disclaimer add: I'm not an ETC player. He is. He knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah, he certainly is. Yeah, for sure.
And you, do you give me that?
Yeah. But yeah, so I move up like this basically to try and hem him in. That's hard to say. Hem him in.
That was better.
Hem him. I haven't got a picture of him because basically this is what I do. He moves up like so into this area, and he magic moves his ghasts, which are out of my line of sight, out of my arc.
Okay.
Which is not useful for me. I'll move us once again. I'm going to keep us in this bottom corner. I'll see if that works. His monster different moves right over there, out of the way of the wraiths, and I'm pretty happy with that. I don't mind that. You can do it once.
No.
So this is his picture. This is my movement as well. But obviously, as you can see, he moved. I moved and reacted like this. My dog's going up to. Basically chaffing gas is a bit of an odd thing, if I'm honest, because it kind of charges them up. So I wasn't super keen. I did consider going in with the wraiths because I've got a lot of attacks there, but I don't think I do it enough. So especially with regen 5 up.
Your issue isn't the first round of combat. Your issue is the second round of combat.
Yeah, it's all the.
And there isn't going to be only one round of combat against vampires.
Yeah. So, so I just decided not to, and then moved like so. As you can see, then nothing really happens. I killed a few gas, but otherwise, the job's good. He then charges with his swarm
That's
into my
ooh.
race, which I was interested at. But actually, when you look at the maps, they're the same weapon skill and defensive skill, but they've got distracting. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'm hitting on fives with all my attacks.
Yeah,
He's
because
hitting
the
on,
wounding easily won't matter if they
yeah,
can't hit him.
he hits me on threes because he also minuses my offensive defensive. So he's hit me on threes, wounding me on fives, I think, because he's strength two. And then I'm hitting
Right.
him on fives, wounding him on twos. So overall, I do well, do better, but I don't grind him out 12 wounds, you know?
No.
So I was caught out a little bit there, and I thought it was safe, and then he went for a long bomb charge and got in. And I was like,
Okay.
okay. This is also showing my
Well,
Whispers of the Veil.
your rates are not used to being grounded, put it that way.
No, so that's an interesting one. It also meant as well that his Monstrous Revenant could come up hoping to just pin me there for as long as possible. So that was interesting. I was like, like poker face on, please. Oh god. He
All
then,
part of the plan.
yeah, he then moves up like so, as you can see the Monstrous Revenant guy gun doesn't choose to charge my dogs, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise, like so, he dices me on a Raven's Wing. So he gets
Okay.
a rise off. I let it go because I'm saving all my dice from Raven's Wing, 4v5, and he gets it off. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh, that's so annoying because he's now in my flank, and where he is now, I can't really reform.
And you also promised us you'd never let anything in your flank again.
Get in my flank. So this is an issue, basically. But
Yeah.
I was trying to save everything for it, so I was a bit like, oh, okay, fair enough. Over here, he kills one. Oh, I kill. I must kill three.
Two.
I think I kill three.
Recharged.
He kills
He's
one.
1-0 up. Yeah. So there's 3-0
So
up.
three. Yeah, and then I do the. I'm one. I
do
win
two
by
back.
one. To
Oh yeah,
pop
one.
him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we're there, but we are stuck there, and I'm like, oh, okay, this. Because if obviously if I'd have killed them and I could turn around and kill the Monster Revenant, but I can't. So that's interesting. Yeah, this is the state of play. This and after my movement as well. So my dogs kind of just stay around. I'm happy to chaff that unit of skeletons. There, the big unit of skeletons, which is obviously everything else kind of shuffles up. Don't worry too much about it. We're zoning each other for the whole thing, and again, I'm happy enough because I'm zoning him back. So
Neither of you is making a play on the objective, yeah?
No, however, he has got gas in my flank, so I swift reform to face that way, but obviously I can't go deeper or wider or anything like that, and then just shuffle back as much as possible so that the Monstrous Revenant can't get in as well. Not that we know he's
a bit far,
for them. Thinking that I've still got parry. I know I don't have ranks now, which is annoying. But
yeah, I imagine you're planning a big hand of glory, right?
A big, actually, that's Macabre. To then get rents. So I dice him this time as well. So yin and yang, folks. Yin and yang. So I'm basically in my position. I'm in front as well. Don't worry, I haven't done anything that was carefully measured. And now if he charges me, I've got all the combat res to go along with it. Okay. So I'm happy enough there for that. I also get Touch of the Reaper off because again, he lets this one go and used everything I diced him. I only get one off, which is annoying because I think he's got 4 wounds, possibly 3. No, it should be 4, shouldn't it?
It should be 4, yeah.
But yeah, I was hoping if I could get like 2 or 3 off, but it is what it is. I'll Touch of the Reaper. I kill his. I think I do 4 for no return. In terms of the bat swarms this time round, pop him, and at least I get to turn to face my doom if the Monstrous Revenants come in. I think it does have magical attacks. I've got a feeling it does.
I don't think he would be threatening if it didn't.
I might have to go back and see, but
Well, I'll have a look now
Regardless,
while you carry
yeah.
on. Keep talking.
There's a, and he does go in.
Pretend we already know the
Yeah,
recording.
so
You
yeah. And he does go in to see him, and you know what? Like I've got my Aegis save. I could pop him. He could pop me. I could pop him. It's so risky, but yeah, let's go. I liked the play from his point of view, and at least I've done that one wound on Touch of the Reaper.
It's got lethal strike, poisoned attacks. I didn't say
Yeah, so no magical.
attacks.
Yeah, so it's, and the 3-up is just, it's one of those where I could do amazing or I could just die. So, and that's what he's hoping for. He charges the chaff here, and he
goes round you again.
He gets another Raven's Wing, and I'm like, come on, man. And again, I let Awaken the Beast off. I'm like, all right, fine, do what you want. And I don't get Raven's Wing off, and I'm like, oh god, come on. I can't keep turning around because eventually something will be in my rear.
Well,
so over here, Aegis saves, baby. Aegis saves. So I just save everything, and I do one to him. We stick around, and it's his turn to sweat really with that. Because if I keep that
absolutely,
we're golden. Over here,
you're not going to tell me he's stuck.
He doesn't kill the dogs. Now, normally you'd be happy, but it now means he's going to kill the dogs on my turn. Because there's no way, even if I get him up to 8, that they don't just die. Because it was just terrible rolling. But actually, I'm like, well, now he's going to pivot on my turn. I'm like,
yeah.
How has that happened? I was just hoping they would just like run forward or whatever. But yeah. So that is interesting. We'll see how that pans out. Over here, I turn to face. I do the turn to face thing with my skeletons again. At this point, I'm like, don't make me take them out and reorder them because we both know what's going to happen. I also charge my single dude from the gas unit, which does that's the scoring as well. So that's the thing. Into the knights. I think I can kind of take them solo.
Is that a mistake on his part, not seeing the character charge out?
No, I don't think so, because I think, like, if you look at everything as well, he's got so many counter charges to it. But my point was I needed to keep the knights there because I can't have the knights charging the rear of my skeletons.
Or doing a long charge on the other dogs and then being
just anything to them. I just can't do. That's not something I can do there. And I even contemplated it so much. The timeout came at this point of view, just to see what exactly I should do. Because I was like, I could do this. I could go in with loads of stuff as well. I could do a charge with my spirit host, blah blah blah, into the flank of those bat swarms. Like loads of things I could do. And
I reckon, considering Terry desperately needed to see the timeout judge referee jump again, I think he should comment to say what he would have said in the timeout.
Absolutely.
It's got to be done. Yeah. Come on, Terry.
What would you have done at this point? But this is what I chose to do. So fairly conservative. It's game 1. We're in a 10-10 situation. There's a few little swings like that Monstrous Revenant guy over there and the Ghasts. Obviously, like both of them could swing it massively. But I'm like, I probably will lose this dude if I do it, but it will pin him and it will allow me a bit of time to actually do stuff. So, a conservative timeout, and sort of, he basically said, don't do anything else silly. Just do that, see how it goes. So I was like, oh, fair play.
Yeah.
I get Hand of Glory off. He lets that off and stops the Dance Macabre. So there's nothing... Yeah. So I am wide, so I don't get my ranks, which is annoying. But I don't have a
majority in the forest.
No.
I don't suppose it massively matters.
Yeah, it looks like I am, but obviously my dude is actually in the center. So
in the middle, he has to be in the center. Yeah.
Models wise, I'm not.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Till they start dying.
Till they start dying. Yeah. Well, I just take them off.
With vampires, it's not as important anyway because you're not really relying on steadfast.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit more forward as well from where the guys were, but yeah. So no, I get Hand of Glory, which I'm like, okay, well, he's only strength 4, without magical buffs, obviously. So if he goes in, he's going to be wounding on 3s, but then I have a 5 save. That's pretty good. I've actually got 6 up, 5 up, and obviously my characters and things are decent. So yeah, happy enough there. Over here, I also get a Raised Dead because he stopped the thing, which I positioned there so that if he was to pivot anyway, there was no particular way he could pivot to get into my skeleton block easily. Anyway, because he'd gone wide like this now, obviously with the idea to pivot to get as much thing. But I'm like, well, if I put them there, they can only go into there. They can go and overrun. I don't think the overrun. Well, they might be able to get an overrun into them, but yeah. This is also after combat, so I go in with my lord. I kill the champion, but because he's, I don't think I do loads to the champion actually. Oh no, this is before.
You started
combat.
with 4.
He started with 4.
Yeah.
Over here, combat.
Oh no,
baby! He puts all his attacks on my champion. Every single attack, because I'm going last, obviously, great weapons. And he only does 1 wound. I go back with everything, punk him, boom, boom. Yes, Wraiths.
That's a turning point.
Absolutely. Yeah, really good. Really good. Over here, I, as I said, go in, kill the champion because of standard. I only do 1 extra wound. He kills the dogs, and it's there like so. I make my first rookie error and get so excited that I've killed the monstrous reverend. I move on to the next combat, and I do not reform with my wraiths.
Wraiths.
So my wraiths are facing that way. I get to the end. I go, oh yeah, can I just swift reform at that point? Oh, we've already done that combat.
Not at this tournament.
I can't let you. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't got a leg to stand on. What am I doing?
This is the best of the best of this tournament.
It's the criminal. You can't make mistakes like that and get away with it. And he was like, no. I'm afraid not. You can't.
Yeah.
So I was like,
because it takes a little bit of balls sticking to the letter of the law.
Yeah,
and the biggest tournament of the year. So
I asked him when he said no. I was like, you know what? Fair play. Yeah. I can't say anything. So he's positioned himself so that he can go as wide as possible when he charges my raised dead skeletons, and will have a 9-inch overrun into my rear.
Yeah, because he'll be way further forward with that left side. Yeah.
So, I've gone from celebrating to sweating my balls because I think I would have been even. I'd definitely get 10, possibly 11, with my swift reform and stuff. Because I could have gone wide.
Your issue is about their overrun also getting very close to the breakthrough, surely.
Yes. Well, yes, yeah. Because if he overruns, he overruns again. And you
haven't got a lot to stop them if they get free.
He charges. Yeah, absolutely. He charges both of these guys into my vampire courtier, hoping one of them get in, and he does with the unit that I want least in there. The casts. So yeah, this is. There's a few little things going on here, which is making me sweat. And he also charges his bat swarms and ghasts into my skeletons. The bat swarms going in will make me minus defensive and offensive, which doesn't do anything too much because I've got parry. But it does give me. He just does have distracting and a rear charge. So it's what it is.
I think that's worth it is. Yeah.
So yeah. Totally.
Did he get a timeout to say pull the trigger on this or not? Because he doesn't have to make those moves.
I honestly can't remember when he took his time out.
Because I mean,
it might have been very similar.
Seems like it's a shall I go for it or shall I stick with what I got? And he's got the go for it command.
I think so because at the minute
could be his own decision, but
Yeah, I can't remember if I'm honest. I genuinely can't remember.
Enough.
But at the minute he is down because of the monstrous revenant,
mm-hmm.
And which we sort of trade in chaff, whatever. But so. I guess he'd be either taking a 9 or go for a big win.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going for it there.
Go for it to me.
Over He doesn't get much magic. He gets really unlucky with magic, and I stop the one spell, and you know he doesn't get anything else off, which is great. He might have got a heal off. I let it off and stopped everything else, but I can't remember. But he doesn't get any magic here, which is the main thing. I've still got Hand of Glory, so I only lose 7. I do kill 6 wounds worth of the gas and 2 from the bat swarms. Obviously, he's got other things as well, and this is after crumble. So yeah, really, really interesting.
That's all right.
It's my turn next as well. I don't have any counter charges, however, because of the wraiths. However, obviously this isn't a terrible situation, and if I can heal and put some magic on these guys, maybe rerolls to wound or whispers, whatever, I could end up getting these ghasts, and that would be quite big. I just got to be super careful about everything else charging me then on his turn. So not the worst thing in the world happening here. Over here, he kills my ghast. I think I might kill a vampire knight. Maybe, I can't remember. But regardless, he goes in, kills. He might have challenged with champion, actually, probably what he would do, and makes the 3-inch overrun to charge me. And obviously, he's now bolstered up. Charged up.
He's supercharged, re-rolling to hit.
Over here, I'm crying because he makes the 9-inch.
Oh, 9. Yeah.
And I'm just, I'm such an idiot. So I think he got a 9 as well, and it's one of those that you're like, of course he only got a 9.
Because, not a 10 or 11 or 12.
He could have just got 12. Yeah, and just been like, all right, there's nothing I could have done. But also, he's in my rear, and it's just horrible. It's just not nice. So I'm crying a little bit over that. As you can see, I didn't kill a knight or anything like that, so the courtier went down to nothing in the middle. And but it did hold them up, so yin and yang, like I said. And takes me on to my turn, where I charge the dogs into the side of the skeletons, knowing that they're got a charge, a flank, which will somewhat nullify his rear and stuff like that. But I'm also at higher strength and things, so maybe
there's always a chance that your 3 of Aegis can hold this, and that actually combat resist bite.
And it goes one of. I mean, if I lose the wraiths, it's terrible anyway. So losing the dogs on top of that isn't a major thing. We're also getting to the end actually as well. Where there's a lot been sitting around, and we're in the last turn now. I think I went first, so so I've got to do something to try and keep points basically. And this is where we're at. Obviously, you can see his gas going wide. I also charge my bat swarms into the flank of his gas. Obviously giving him a charge and a flank, but also minusing his offensive and defensive, meaning I'm hitting on better. So he might have rerolls to hit, but I have a better hit thing with my gas. So so we're doing that. I'm also setting up the spirit host basically go up there to stop him coming into me as well. So we are mano a mano, so to speak, in those 3 combats. So decent enough. Over here, I heal and raise dead, and obviously this is the last turn, so that means his vampire knights aren't getting into my deployment zone. Obviously anything could happen over on the right hand side, but I also get Whispers of the Veil off on the gas, so he stops, I think, rerolls to hit on my wraiths, so he prioritizes that. I then get I think I had like 3 to his 2 for Whispers of the Veil, and I get it off, and he tried to stop it and didn't. Then I get a raised dead to finish. So, I mean, it's getting those heals back is really nice in that middle. If I can do that again,
I like
just keep grinding. And obviously, me being +1 to hit and effectively +1 to wound as well on the ghasts. Come on, bring it on. His cadaver wagon's nowhere to be seen as well. So I think I'm. Oh no, actually, that might be it just there at the top of the screen. But yeah, so let's go, baby, let's go. That's the best opportunity I have, and this is the combat, and this is after crumble everywhere.
So there are some
the ghasts. We'll go to the ghast first. Oh my days, they went to town. They did 6 versus 2. I've got the charge and flank, and so I think he does do some wounds to my bat swarms. but the charge and flank cancel that out. He does so many wounds to my skeletons, like
Because you didn't have Hand of Glory this
unbelievable,
time.
an unbelievable amount. I was just like, and it was like he was rolling hot in that middle bit, and I only did 3. I think 4 actually is what I'd kill, and I'm like, oh man, oh guys, my vampires just did nothing, and I was like, that is not the time to do nothing on my days. And that, to be fair, it's after crumble, so it's probably a bit less wounds than it looks. But yeah, over on the right hand side, my dogs do enough to keep my wraiths alive, which is the main thing. So if I can just stay alive now, he hasn't got ranks, he can't swift reform, and it means that they're not going to get into my deployment zone easily.
Yeah.
Easily. So yeah, I reformed my dogs to get more in. He killed a few, but yeah, well done, dogs. Saved my wraiths from utter annihilation there. But yeah, all of the combat's kind of in the mix, really. This is an overview of how it then looks after all those battles, and this is after his movement.
Oh my word! So many vampire.
Yes,
models.
man. Yes. So as you can see with his everything, he charges it as much as he can into the spirit host to try and get them gone. But there's not else he can do apart from try and conga those skeletons into my deployment zone with a thing. And this, I'm going to confess to my second mistake. I've still got binding scroll, so I go, okay, well I'm going to binding scroll. So you've got the choice of the bound spell, or Raven's Wing, or Van Hul's. So I was like, okay, I think he's only got 2 actually. So I go, all right, I'm gonna Raven's Wing. I don't want Raven's Wing. Get rid of that. He was like, okay. I was like, why did he say it like that? And we carry on. And at the end of the game, he says to me, and I should know this because I have Raven's Wing, you lose scoring if you Raven's Wing. And it's on the skill.
There's no chance he was going to just spend.
So out of the 2 things, I've given him. So I've given one where he has no scoring, and I've given one where he does have scoring, and I've got rid of the one where he doesn't have scoring. And it's like, well, I know I have more dice now, but if he dices me, my god, why did I do that? Just like, oh my days.
At least he wasn't telling you after he diced you. Clearly, it was because he didn't get it off.
And he didn't get it off, thankfully for me. But oh my days, that was like. Can
you imagine going back to Team England and telling them that?
I stopped Raven's Wing so he couldn't get in. Oh, by the way, oh man, oh it's just and he was a really nice guy, and he like I got the impression
there's this little smirk.
Yeah, it was like. I knew I'd done something wrong, but I was like, I couldn't work out what, and he was like,
not in the heat of the moment.
So I don't have a picture of Ix. We had to hurry up at this point. But in the top left, he goes in, and as you would expect, my spirit host kind of die, but they only kind of die. 3 up ages, baby. What can I say? He goes in, does enough to crumble me down to 1 model, but it's the last turn of the game, so I have 1 model left, so I actually only lose 70 points. Fine. So then we go into the gas in the middle, and we kind of do a bit of blow for blow, nothing enough to make us half points or anything like that over there. On the right hand side, literally nothing happens, I believe. I'll see if I've got another picture. I might have another picture, but nothing happens, and my wraiths survive, and that's huge, baby.
Great.
So really, really good. In down at the bottom, we do this last, and we just sort of
complete turnaround.
A complete turnaround. He does nothing. Basically, he goes second, right? So I do loads of wounds this time instead of not doing any wounds last time.
So he
reduces his attacks, and actually he just whiffs on the ones he's got as well. And we get to a point where I've done 1 on his champion, 1 on his unit member, and he's down to 2 from 8, which means he's half points.
Nice.
And that is a chunk of points. That's like 600 points or something like that. So a whole chunk of points. Well, obviously down to 300. But yeah, a decent amount. And if I go on to this and go to the next, it means we have a
Ah.
10-10. It was a one of them that was like, yeah, they had this down as a 10-10 from the start, whatever. Yeah. And I went back, I was like, got 10-10. It's like, oh, pretty confident. I was like, it wasn't comfortable at all.
No.
So nothing in this game was comfortable. He kind of outplayed me. He got a bit lucky with some Ravens wings as well, to sort of get in and behind me, and I played really badly in parts. So I was pretty happy with the 10-10.
I bet you are.
If I'm honest, the first game of the ETC as well. Probably it was a 10-10 that I don't know. With the Monster Revenant going down early, I think I had it, and then he worked it back to get 10-10. But those 300 points of gas really helped in the last. So yeah,
no, massively.
There we go. So 10-10. I'll go back to the coach,
because if you hadn't have got the gas, that would have been in love.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so I go back to the coach and I say, all right, well, I've got a 10-10 sort of prediction, but I don't think I played well, so I think I got lucky to get a 10. How's the rest of the team doing? And it wasn't good. Effectively, because it was quite late on because we were rushing, and he was like, yeah, that 10 is the best result we have. And I was like, I sort of double took, and I was like, what? Yeah, we got battered. We got absolutely battered.
Slaughtered.
Thank God for the cap. So we'll just go through it very quickly. Tanker got a 3 against Sylvan Elves. Josh got a 1 against Beasthead. Hugh got 7 against the UD Triple Sphinx, as we said. Wes got 7 against Warriors. Jake got 7 against Highborns. Luke got 4 against Vermin Swarms, and Darren got 0 against KOE.
Oh, my lord.
It was not a good first round. It wasn't a good first round for us as a team, and thank God the cap was in play, because I think we got overcapped. And as I've done in the last 3, we'll go back to this one because this is much more of a nicer picture.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, Team England struggling to get off. Well, yeah, that was crazy in itself. To be the best result of that whole thing, but fair play, well done Denmark. I say great things for there. I think I was, from my point of view, I had a really fun game, very tactical and lots of thinking and stuff. So it wasn't the most chatty game, but it was a fun game.
Yeah.
So thank you.
He probably came away saying, "What a lucky sod!"
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a few little things like little play here and there.
I bet it went round the Denmark chat. He just finally scrolled Raven's wing.
Yeah. Oh my day! I just couldn't believe it. So 2 real blunders from that point of view in the not turning the race round quick enough and the binding scroll, but otherwise not too bad. And there's some good play as well. So yeah, it's cheers for the game, Troels. We actually the night on the Tuesday that we all got there, we went out with the Danish lot, and they are good fun. Very good fun. So it was good to have a laugh.
Some good tiddlywinks.
Some very good tiddlywinks. And some. But yeah, no. Let us know, guys, if you thought like we think. I got very lucky in that game, and
you also held it together though pretty well. Though. Like you made a couple of mistakes, but you held your nerve.
That's it.
You shored up those weaknesses. You know, you sent in the reinforcements.
So yeah, if I
held it, so
if you could do like Hyper-G is doing and just try and cheer me up and say, it wasn't too bad. Don't worry, move on for the next one.
You got a 10. You got a 10. That's fine.
We're unbeaten so far, baby. Let's keep going. Let's keep going with that. Exactly. And let's move on. And we'll move on from the game. Well done, Denmark. Onwards and upwards for them, but hopefully onwards and upwards for us as well.
It's not downwards, is it?
Well, not much. We're on table 13 of 14, so it's really you really can't get much worse. But we are against Luxembourg as well. So in the next game, so looking forward to that game. Where I don't play vampires or Sylvan Elves, so
great,
a bit of a mix.
That'll be nice. Yeah, looking forward to it already. Cool. So yeah, as Lucky Six has said, give us some comments on: do you think he got away with that, or much like I think, Do you think he shored up those weaknesses and played well enough to earn the 10? I think he did. Well played, Lucky Sixes.
I'm also interested in deployment, actually, for other people. Marching column is a bit of an interesting one. But what do you think about the deployment and dropping for first in that scenario against vampires? So all those sorts of things and more.
Yeah.
If you could let me know in the comments. Very happy.
I still think he missed a trick putting one unit of Vampire Knights out far left, your far right. I know the wraiths are there, but they can't march outside the general's bubble. Your wraiths would have been outmaneuvered by those Vampire Knights.
I agree.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, on to the next one, and yeah, Luxembourg.
Looking forward to that. That's going to be a good game. Yeah.
ETC game 2, end of day 1, technically.
Yes. Great. All right, we'll see you there, folks. Thanks for watching.
Absolutely. See you later.